天呢，我们是一个圣诞节的特辑，所以我们要教大家如何做圣诞节的饼干。
Yeah, today we're going to test out a brand new recipe that we tried, and you know what? It's really easy to do. So why don't we go in the kitchen and show our followers how to bake Christmas sugar cookies?
耶！看，这是我们今天做饼干需要的一些材料。
Today our ingredients are very simple. Let me go over them. So we have about 2 cups of cold butter. So this is the butter we're using. 1 stick is about half a cup. So we're using 2 sticks. And then we have about 2 cups of white sugar. You want to just use white granulated sugar like this.
白砂糖。
And we have over here 2 tablespoons of half and half. It's not milk. It's like the half and half you would put in coffee or for baking here. And I like to use organic. Okay. And we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
香草提取。
Right over here.
这个。
And we also need some eggs. We have about 3 medium-sized, large to medium-sized eggs.
3个鸡蛋。
And we have about 4 cups of all-purpose white flour.
面粉。
And we have about 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Now, baking
小苏
powder,
打吧。
this is the brand that I like to use.
Baking powder。
And last but not least, we need some salt. And this is about 1 teaspoon
盐。
of salt. Hey, my friends, we are now in the kitchen. We just went over all the ingredients. So now let's start mixing away the ingredients together. Actually, I first like to start with creaming the butter. Now the butter that you saw in the ingredients, we left it out for room temperature, maybe for like an hour to kind of get it softened, but we don't want it to be warm or too cold. So like when you press the butter, it kind of has to press in, but not all the way. That's when it's perfect. So I cut it up so it's a little bit easier to cream. We're just going to dump it all in. Now that the butter's in, we're going to gently soften it. I like to start at a lower speed so it doesn't go crazy everywhere, but yeah. You see, we're just gently creaming it up. And my friends, if you guys don't have an electric mixer, it's okay. You could use a fork or a whisk, but it's just going to be a lot of it's going to be a workout. So I want to just gently just cream it. I don't want to go all the way. And now I'm going to add my sugar. It's really important that we
So do half,
cream it.
right?
Yeah, half.
放一半的糖进去。
So when it's little pebbles like this, then I want to add a little bit more. Okay, and then mix away. Just like this. We're almost done mixing the butter and the sugar like this. We're going to add the eggs just one by one. So we already cracked the eggs. So 1, and cream it. And then 2. And then 3. So when you put the eggs in, you know, the batch has gotten really like dark yellow. We want to cream it until it turns into a pale yellow again. So now you can see the color's not so yellow anymore. It's a little bit more pale. And I'm going to add a little bit of our vanilla extract. Okay, just gently mix it.
加那个香草提取。
And this is a half and half. And this is the half and half that we just put in. And once it's all mixed up, we want to just set it aside for a real quick bit. And we want to mix in our dry ingredients. So this is our flour. And let me bring our salt. Just mix it in. You know, before I used to like sift it. But you know, it's not really necessary. And then this is a baking powder.
先加到面粉里。
If you want, maybe you could just give it a little stir. Just like that. And we're ready to mix with our wet ingredient. Okay. So with this too, I don't like to put everything all at once. You can, but I think it's just easier to mix just a little at a time. So I'm gonna just put like maybe half in.
先加一半进去。
Yeah. And be careful because if you do too hard, like go fast, and it'll just fly up. So you wanna just go gentle. Yeah. Just mix it in. Then now I think when it gets a little bit wet, then we're gonna add some more in. the rest, empty it out. And again, start gentle. Yeah, it's gonna start to get really hard to use, and that's when we use the wooden spatula or or
对，因为它变得很稠，就不好打。
Now our batch is all incorporated. If you see, it's really sticky right now. But then we're gonna just put it in the refrigerator a little bit, and it'll harden up, and it'll be much easier to work with. Okay, so now I'm just going to scrape the sides and make it into a little ball. Okay, now we're gonna put this in the refrigerator.
然后放到冰箱里，就是用那个保鲜膜把它包起来。只有2份。
Okay, so now that we have it in 2 little round balls, we're going to refrigerate these.
Maybe like a 10-15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, 10-15
Yeah,
minutes.
10
We
minutes.
have our oven heating at 350 degrees.
那是华氏
，yeah，
华摄氏度，我把它算成那个摄氏度，对。
So I just want to get my work surface prepared. You kind of need like a clean space to like be able to roll out the dough because we're going to be using a roller to roll out flat. And then also, some people like to use flour to use as a dusting, to dust the surface, but I actually like to use the powdered sugar because if you use too much of the flour, it'll get onto your batter and the cookie will get hard. Yeah, so it's easier to kind of use like powdered sugar like this. So I kind of like to like dust it off just gently so it's not sticky. Yeah, and if you don't have powdered sugar, it's okay. You can use flour. Some other people actually also use cornstarch.
啊，玉米粉。
Okay, it's got that.
对，这样就不会粘住。
You ready to get dirty? So we just got one of the dough out. We're gonna keep the other one in the refrigerator. It's only been like 10 minutes. So this is our dough. It's still a little bit wet, so we want to kind of dust it off with the sugar powder. And then you want to make sure your hands are dry and also our rolling pin. This is a rolling pin I use to make dumplings.
做那个饺子。
I just want to show you. And notice that it's really sticky and it was sticking onto my surface. This is a little bit too sticky for us, so we are actually going to add a little bit of flour.
还是要加面粉。
Okay, see? We don't want that happening. So you kind of have to eyeball it too because every recipe is different.
Oh, now it works better.
Now it's a little bit better, but make sure we still want it soft because if you use too much flour, then it might get the cookie too hard. So it's been laid out, and if you can see, it's only about like 2 centimeters. And this is where the fun begins. You can let your kids choose whichever cutouts you like. We're gonna use this Christmas tree right here. Just like that. We'll do a little snowman, a gingerbread man, a little star too. Yeah, just like that. And you gotta kind of work quickly because depending on where you're at and the temperature of your home, if it gets too hot, then it's going to get sticky. Yeah, so you're ready to scoop up like this, and it's not gonna look perfect, but when you bake it, it's gonna come out okay. So we got the star there.
Oh, the snowman looks good. Okay.
Now we have our pan filled with our cookies. Now our oven has been preheated, so let's go ahead and pop them in. So we actually put the wrap on like towards the bottom, but not all the way, like in the middle shelf. So we're gonna bake it for about 5 minutes. Open it up, flip the tray, and then cook it for another 4 minutes.
哦，所以煮的时间其实烤的时间不久 ，total like 9 minutes. Yeah. 看在烤了，是不是有点鼓起来了？看它 became fluffy. Getting fluffy. 好，5分钟到啦，要给它翻个面。Be careful, very hot.
Okay, we're going to put it away. Put it back in.
Oh, so don't have to flip, it just turn.
Oh, no, turn.
哦，不用翻面，就换一个方向。Alright.
Okay, so the cookies are ready.
Oh, they're so fat.
Yeah. So you want to take them out before the edges start to get like brown. Do you see how it's turning a little bit brown?
Oh,
Yeah.
好了，很香哦，那种黄油的味道。Yes.
And this is the batch that we worked on. To the drying rack.
这是后面做的那个姜饼人，这个是第一批的，是不是后面那几批会比较好一点？
The whole house was very
试吃一下这个小人。我这个很薄，所以是脆的。所以这个就是如果你想要脆一点的话呢，就烤的薄一点，然后就是蘸5分钟，蘸5分钟。那如果你想要吃那种软软的那种 cookie 呢，就可以这样做一个肥一点的，然后稍微厚一点的，然后就5分钟加4分钟。这个脆脆的就比较像那种饼干的感觉。
Hey guys, so we have our cookies almost done baking, and we want to get the frosting kind of prepared. So we have about 1.5 cup of powdered sugar, and then we have about 1/8 cup of half and half. And it's really simple. We just have to mix it in. And stir, stir, and it's gonna become like a easy. Separate them so we get some different colored frosting for the kids to play with.
We make it so even.
Let's see if it is or not.
Practice makes
I don't
perfect.
know. Okay, and then we are going to make different colors. So I usually like to use the gel form of the food coloring, but I did not find any today at the market. No, it's the holidays, like
Two eyes.
too yellow.
Oh, I thought it's red. It's yellow. Oh yeah, because on the cap. Okay.
That'd be nice yellow. Okay. So these are the colors that we're gonna work with. I think these are Christmassy: red, green, yellow, and blue.
These are just very like simple. I mean, they are really pretty, elaborate cookies they can make. I think it's just easy. But
所以用我们刚才的那些材料呢，大概可以做这么多的 cookie。现在等它要干。
Hi.
What are your names?
My name is Chloe. And my name is Sophie.
And what are you guys here to do today?
Decorate cookies. Yeah.
Do you guys want to tell everybody Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
So we're teaching the kids how to do the decoration. It's going to be our tree. We just color it in.
All we need is the end of the toothpick. Look, just a little bump on it. Yeah, this is just an example. It's so cute. You could do bigger dogs. You could do like the icing in front of it, so you don't like hit it. That's what we use to color the icing. And you could hold the cookie with the other hand. Yeah. That's really good. Button. Ours look good.
我做了这个。
Ours look funny. Oh, Chloe.
Chloe, yours has eyebrow.
I know.